Hello, everyone, and welcome. For the third episode of Polis, we are honored to have Nasim Eshqi with us, an Iranian climber known worldwide for her commitment to human rights, especially women's rights in Iran and around the world. Over 9 classes have read her book, I Was Rock and Now I'm Mountain, and over 200 students will be discussing the book's themes, which are highly autobiographical, that also discuss current issues, also given what's happening in Iran and in the world in general.
In our podcast, we address the issue of civic engagement in general, and we question ourselves why some people feel the need to come out of their shell. So now we ask you how the idea of personally commit yourself to human rights arises.
First of all, thank you so much. I am really happy to see you, especially like in this very young age, are working on this. So what you are doing is, of course, the peak of the iceberg. So I believe your ideas and your mentality is very profound. I really congratulate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both of you and everyone who is supporting. The idea of human rights always have been, we are all human, and I think we all born with the idea of defending ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I think the idea is always there, but the society and the way of education all over the world, especially in the countries like totalitarian countries like Iran, they are trying to make you feel that the oppression is normal and it's okay if you don't have every right, especially for women. So a lot of people, a lot of women especially, they believe and they think, okay, this is like this. So if I ask my mom, why can I not do the same thing as my brother? She would say, yeah, because he's a boy, you are a girl, but that's not a right answer. But with this answer, they silence everybody. So in my life, doing martial arts gave me a lot of confidence. I was always feeling, because I was me and my brother, we had similar, not so different ages, like just 2 years. So I always had this feeling of I'm not lower, we are the same. I had always this with me, but it was not very easy. So it was a constant fight for me, myself. Without politics, without thinking of politics as a child, I always wanted to have everything that they give to my brother. Like if he was going to sport activities, I wanted to do the same. I didn't want to sit at home and need something, It's not a problem to do it, but I didn't like this way of women have to do this and men have to do it, because man has a lot of activities and movement, and I loved movement. So I moved in this way forward through sports and through education. It gave me a wing to fly, because that is why they limit women in many countries, because the power of women is really it helps also men who have a very open society. Anyway, but to make the story short, when I was climbing all over the world and going everywhere, and in this moment that I was outside Iran and they killed the girl Mahsa Amini in Iran, the same as, it was the same a girl like me that had been arrested before. In this moment I felt like if I have a power, if I have a voice, and it all stays there and silent, what is this voice and power means? It means I have nothing. It means you have a pen, but you're not able to write. But if you are able to write, you have a pen, and you don't write, then this means you are equal with a person who don't have a pen and cannot write. So in this moment I felt, okay, I want to use every knowledge, everything I have to be the voice of people who cannot, to be the voice of person who cannot write. I can write, I will write. So that was the idea came to my mind, and I started to do it. And then I had a lot of obstacles in front of me because my sponsors stopped to support me and all this. And in this moment, I felt there is something very strange, that if I am a woman trying to talk about women's rights, and my sponsors, they don't want, so there is something here which is not how I was thinking before. And the point was, I had more power than the brands. And the brands, they're afraid that I talk more. And in this moment, I felt, okay, this power that I have, that they showed me how powerful a woman can be, So I said, okay, no brand, ciao. I will go up in the mountain. I don't need a brand or clothes to go up in the mountain. I go up and I write what I know on the rock so no one can ignore. And that was the power I discovered, that we human, we all have, we just have to use it. So it was probably a long answer to your question.
Thank you.
Now, by choosing to be a vocal advocate while living outside of Iran, you've essentially chosen a life in exile. Now, how are you able to balance the heartbreak of not being able to return home with the necessity of being a voice for those who are still trapped there?
Probably you can feel, maybe if it doesn't happen to people that they are in exile or they can't go back, they can't really understand it. They can maybe a little bit feel, maybe you're not seeing, but until it doesn't happen to you personally, it's a feeling, an emotion that is impossible to describe. It's very deep, dark point or missing part inside your heart or your brain from all the memory, all the language, all your friends, your parents. It's impossible to replace. Even if I have everything, every happiness in life, it's impossible to replace this. Knowing that, I have to go on. So there are two ways: to feel a victim or to feel, let's say, a hero. So I think I have learned, we all have up and down. I also have moments that I'm very sad. I have moments that I'm very powerful. We all have this, and that is the best part of our human nature, because we can just move through emotions and decide. I normally, in my life, I decide not to be the victim. And when there is something happen, I feel sad, I go in a corner, maybe I cry. But when it's finished, I'm like, my emotions are away, and I'm like, I decide what to do. Because imagine, for example, you can be born and your parents die in an earthquake. Mm-hmm. You can born in a country which is always war and you have an attack, or you can be born like handicaps, like disabled people. So these people also are missing something in life. So sometimes I try to think about, you are not the only person in the world that you are missing something. There are a lot of people who are not. So if we all sit in one corner and start crying, nobody come and save us. But instead, when I look at myself and I say, okay, you have a healthy body, you can talk, you can read, you can dance, you can go up in the mountain. And these are the positive parts of the water in the glass. I look at this and I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? Let's think more about this and not focus so much on what I am now missing. But that missing part creates also bad emotions, creates also hate, creates also sadness. And I think I use this hate and sadness as a fuel for my moves.
Yeah.
Because imagine you are fighting in a competition. I was a kickboxer. If you're angry, then you can go with your anger and then you use a very good technique to beat your opponent. But if you're very happy, you go into the first punch you get and you're like out, no? You really need some emotions for fighting. So I think my life is a fight. So instead of using those emotions and feel a victim, I use those emotions as a fuel.
All right, thank you. You kind of anticipated my next question, but that's perfect.
We have another question for you. If we were to go back in your past and arrive to your childhood, would you change the sport that you practiced, or was there any sport that you liked and why?
I think if I go back in time, I will do more sports. I don't know how much more I could do because I was doing full time. I would not change because I really think that kickboxing was not only the boxing and hitting. It had a philosophy behind. Like my teacher was also a professional kung fu master, and they had this, in the past, karate and kung fu, they had this really good philosophy of defending the weak people, using our power not to be cruel, but to, and this really came with me also into climbing. The way of the philosophy that you have to be always thankful to even your opponent, your teacher. When you enter the ground of the fight, you do a respect, a symbol of respect to the ground, to your opponent, to the people who are watching. So this, every day doing this, it gave me this feeling. It stayed with me that we have to be thankful to everything we have. And this type of philosophy, I think, is very profound. And the other sport, I think if I just go to the past, beside the sport, I will try to also learn some art. Like maybe, I don't know, I'm not really talented in any artistic thing, but probably music would be something that it really helps you when you are feeling very low, beside the sport also. Probably I will add something. I will not change any.
That's good.
So you like to name your roots after human rights movements. Like you said before, sometimes you use the anger to get through a difficult climb. But do you actually, does carrying a message that is everybody should have the same rights and saying which rights they are, ever change how you handle the physical and mental challenge of a really difficult climb?
Not really. It gave a bit more aim to do it, definitely. For example, maybe if I go for myself to open a new route just like this, and if the weather is bad or a little bit cold, maybe I would say, I go and I come back another day. But because of the project I have, and we aim to do this project, for example, in this month, and every measure that everything, if the weather is not really good, or we can decide to stay or not, then the project and naming for women's rights, it is a bit pushing me towards the no.
It gives you a bit of motivation.
Exactly, like I don't want to give up. No, this is not for us, this is for others.
Thank you.
All right, that would be all. We thank you for your presence and your time. Per oggi è tutto.
Thank you so much. Also, grazie per tutti che
grazie. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for having the time, for
It's a pleasure and it's an honor talking to you. Really, I have a twin brother and sister, younger, and younger brother and sister, they never grow up.
Yeah.
So in my mind, they're always little, even though they are really. So for me, it was really, felt for me like I'm talking with my sister and brothers, the same generation, and it was really, it made me very emotional. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Thank you.